Well, quite the lightning show going on. This is the view from Athens, but you can probably see this from anywhere in North Alabama. This storm is just north of Pulaski, producing a tremendous amount of lightning. It's about 50,000 feet up in the air. That's why you can see it so far away. 81 degrees in Athens, a very muggy night. Probably just hear the bugs if you're outside looking at the thunderstorm just to your north. This stretches from Killen along Highway 43. There's a boundary where these storms have been firing up. I wouldn't be surprised to see an isolated damaging wind gust from this if this storm does collapse. Probably going to see some issues with lightning strikes as well. There's just so many of them. Look at that lightning counter, up to 176 lightning strikes here in the last 15 minutes or so. So pretty good night to get out the camera. If that's your thing. I'm not good at photographing lightning. That's one of the hardest things. Sometimes you just got to take video of the lightning, go back and do snapshots of the lightning as it comes through. A very warm and muggy night, 84 in the Shoals. It's 83 in Huntsville, 78 in Russellville, and it still feels like 85 to about 93 degrees out there. Here's the heat index. Again, tomorrow is still about the heat, but there will be more storms, and we could see these isolated storms pop up anywhere along boundaries overnight tonight. So just keep that in mind. They're almost impossible to predict hours in advance just due to the nature of the atmosphere. This is, again, 10 o'clock in the morning. By 11 o'clock, the heat index is already at 100. We stay above 100 for several hours, probably peak around 106 or 107 on the heat index. Even 102 in Scottsboro, 98 Fort Payne. Those numbers may climb a little bit more, but if we get some thunderstorms out there, we'll start to see these numbers drop off. But keep in mind, they're very isolated in nature, and they develop for about 30 minutes, and that's it. Here's the latest down here in the Gulf. Notice not a lot of activity. This is not a very well-defined system. This is going to be one of those sneaky systems that produces a lot of rain, most likely where it is now in Louisiana. But there's also going to be an impact if you headed down to the Gulf Coast. There's going to be more rip currents down there just due to the onshore flow here and the gusty winds coming in. And there will be periods of showers and storms. They did have a water spout out there in Mobile Bay earlier today. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice they'll wake up to some showers and storms down there, and we won't see anything here. Maybe a touch of fog. That's it. But notice the heavier rainfall there near New Orleans, moving towards Lafayette as we get into the afternoon. Around here, we don't see a lot of activity yet, but we'll see more thunderstorm activity than we had today, and definitely more than we had yesterday. And as we continue on, really the main impact is going to start coming in during the weekend. Here's Friday. Big push of tropical moisture coming in from the south. Rainfall rates could be around 4 inches per hour with this kind of atmosphere, so watch out for street flooding. I think of some areas are going to pick up about 2 inches of rain in 30 or 35 minutes. Rain chances are increasing, and that'll push back the heat, but it may not happen until later in the afternoon. First alert weather day for the heat tomorrow, and then we'll drop it. It's still going to be hot, and you still need to stay hydrated Friday, but we've given you plenty of notice on this heat, and there is more heat coming, Margot, next week. So a heat index probably close to 105 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's
the mere fact that it's 90 right now is just wild.
Well, I mean, that's the case. And I mentioned earlier, if you live next to a big cornfield,
even worse.
It's even worse because those plants, it's called evapotranspiration. They're sweating out there, so it just adds to the humidity.
I know this very well. I'll get into why I know this at another time.
Yeah.
Okay. So